Good morning. July 5th, Saturday. How was your July 4th? Was it explosive? Was it full of color? Was it full of excitement? How was your 4th? It has been really, really hot here again in St. Louis, Missouri. I laid in my pool yesterday morning, pulled some weeds, barbecued yesterday. Opted not to go out with my older kids. I can't be in crowds right now. It's enough I work in the heat, working on the patio, and dealing with the general public that I swear people have lost their mind. Turn the TV off, people. Turn the radio off. Do something. Fill an activity. Take your shoes off, ground yourself in grass, work in the yard, do anything but watch TV. Please, for the love of whatever, turn your TV off. I am Kitryn Marie. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, a speaker, a life and a business coach, teach a variety of art classes, group painting classes, teach how to put a vision board together, based in life coaching, perception, perspective. Have written a book. It'll be available, I don't know, in the next couple weeks. Once again, some other edits needed to be done to the cover. The cover is all my photography. It is my artwork. The storyline is fictional. It is based in psychological trauma and narcissism, a little bit of a thriller, but not a scary thriller. It's how one woman learns to reclaim her voice and who she is after a relationship she had gotten herself into where there was nothing but fraud, deceit, lying and cheating. It's a good book. It really is. It's 149 pages, and everything in it is fictional. It is a story that I have seen in my mind, because I see everything like in a movie. That's just kind of who I am. That is my creative talents. I have another book in mind. Once this one is published, the next one is more of a love story. It is still based in some psychological trauma, but you will be pulling for this next book and the couple, Jess and Jake in Seaside Shore. So it's just been a week, though, in the restaurant industry. People have a little common sense. If you know you have a party of 8 or more, call. Let the restaurant know, whatever the restaurant is, that you're coming in. Can they accommodate 8? Will there be a wait? If you have dietary needs, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut allergies, so on and so forth, call the restaurant before you come in to ask if they have anything special on the menu. And then when you come in, do not get angry that the restaurant cannot accommodate your dietary needs. It is hot. We are all suffering from the heat. We are all suffering from explosive behaviors right now. And it makes the person who is on the other end feel very uncomfortable. It's not pleasant. It's not nice. And those that are working in the back of the house are doing everything that they need to do their job, to get the food out in a timely manner. But it's hot back there. They don't have air conditioning. Understand that, and on top of the fact that if you see the restaurant is full and you're coming in with a party of 25 just walking in, understand you are going to have to wait. Understand when there is a 25 top without a reservation, it does cause a little bit of havoc to the restaurant and to the staff. And although usually restaurants are thrilled that people want to come through the door, understand the restaurants position in that situation. Been in the restaurant industry for 32 years. I have done pretty much every job in the restaurant industry. I have cooked a little bit, but I'm not considered a cook, not a chef, have no culinary skills. And if you are claiming to have those culinary skills, and if you are claiming to be a chef or a sous chef or an executive, something in the kitchen, your papers need to be hanging on the wall so everyone knows that your skills are backed up by paper. That's kind of a given. If a restaurant has to have all their licenses up on the wall, if a restaurant needs to have who is safe served, if you are in the kitchen claiming to be something or another, your papers need to be on the wall also. Just stating a fact. What else has been going on this week? I am very tired of people who forget they have conversations and then they want to come at you because, one, they're not happy with their life. Two, they've listened too much to the TV. Three, they've been involved in a bunch of gossip that has got them all stirred up, and whatever issue that they are going through, they are projecting it onto somebody else after having a conversation that they do not remember having. And then that person becomes all unglued because they don't remember what was said. I don't do petty. I don't do Indian givers. I don't do gossip. And if somebody is gossiping to you, odds are your feet are running in their mouth also. If someone is gossiping about others, trust me, they are gossiping about you. There is a very good reason why I stay to myself. There's a very good reason why I don't too much engage with people, because once you get a crowd of people together, sometimes they just run their mouth because they're not happy with the life that they have, and once again, they are creating situations to start trauma, drama, and chaos, and I don't want no part of it. Nothing like coming home from a week of hell at the outside gig to a message on my phone, hey, sorry for the loss of your horse, but now that she's dead, pretty much tells me there is more mentally wrong on the other side, because that just showed no tact, no diplomacy, or no concern for the grief that I might be going through after losing my princess pony. Trying to process that, trying to figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing and what really do I want to work on other than teaching my classes, because I do not any longer want to work in the food and beverage industry. I will stay as long as I am needed and as long as I am wanted, but as soon as I find my out, being able to teach my classes, being able to get books published, using the things that I have learned. It is not my business how other people feel about me. It is not my business that people are not happy with my career choices, my job choices, how I have chosen to utilize the things that I have learned. How are you learning these days? What are you doing for research? If you want to learn something and you want to apply it to a job or making some extra money or having a side hustle, where are you going to learn? You know, luckily, I love research. I do. I love going to the library still. I love having the feel of a book in my hand. I am not so much an iPad, Kindle kind of person to read anything. I may go to YouTube to look at something, but I can't learn like that. I like to have that one-on-one. That is why I teach in person. I don't do things online because we learn better, we interact better, we understand, and we can connect, and we we can see examples through the experience and through the hands-on type learning, but how are you learning these days? What are you doing to better your gift, your talent, the work that you were doing, or the work you want to lead into? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? Do you need somebody to make the decision for you before you can jump into doing something else? What is your brand? What is your brand representing? And is the customer that is buying your product or your service, is that really what your target market is? Is that where you are leaning towards? Are they speaking kindly about your product and service? Are they using social media? Are you using social media to talk about your brand, your mission statement, your purpose, how your product or service is helping, is creating a resolve for a problem that needs to be completed to make life easier for them, to advance whatever it is that they have in their life, to add flavor, to add color, to add adventure, to add experience. Is your product tactile? Is your product something somebody can hold in their hand and they can show somebody else? How is your customer utilizing your product or your service? What is it about them that you want that type of target market to represent what it is that you are offering? I teach those things. I did a little bit of business coaching training as I was studying my life coaching stuff, because I thought it was important. We live in that time where you can be and you can do anything. You don't need a college degree for everything. If you have a voice, you have a personality, you have a mission, you want to become something different than what other people believe you to or remain the same. That did not make any sense. I know I did not say that correctly. But you cannot always stay the same. You cannot always remain at one point in your life. You need to grow. You need to have progress. You need to evolve. You need to explore what else you can do to better your earning ability. What else has been going on this week? About over the heat, although we are just in the beginning of July and I'm staring out the window. It's almost unbearable, the heat. It makes people's moods, it just makes it unpleasant to be around people. And with whatever is going on in the news, people can't handle. They're so used to everything being the same. When there is change, the cognitive dissonance it disrupts their whole life, and they take it out on everyone else. I don't know how much more of that I can take. You know, there's always two sides to everything. There's the right side, there's the left side, and somewhere in between, in the middle, there's the truth. You know, have an open mind. Have an open dialogue. Don't be so angry because you have been fed a narrative that doesn't really work for everybody. Well, we are not a one-fit type society, you know? And then as far as, and this is such a touchy subject, as far as diversity, it is okay to be different. It is okay to be an individual. It is okay to have creative expression. But when your creative expression is hindering somebody else's life, then there seems to be a bit of a conflict that people do not understand. And it's sad. It just is. It's really sad. You know, we're all struggling. We are all struggling mentally, emotionally, trying to get out of the hole that most have dug themselves into. Trying not to remain the same, but trying to, remain with clarity, with intelligence, taking in knowledge, because we are learning, because we can see what's on the other side of that knowledge. But if you constantly have someone telling you, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, do it this way only, you lose sight of what your ability is to think on your own, to think on an outside circumference. It has been crazy in the last couple weeks, and I'm hoping at some point we all come out on top, relieved, where the pressures have been taken from us because we are all working ourselves in a manner that we know how to work without seeing too much progress. And it's defeating, it's depleting. You get yourself surrounded by other miserable human beings, and you become that sum of five. I talk about that all the time. You want to be able to think on your own. You want to be able to assess your own life. You want to be able to surround yourself with people who want to uplift you, who have vibrant energy, who want to see that everything can be positive and it's not all negative energy, because there's nothing worse than being with a energy vampire. There's nothing worse than walking into a building and the life of you has been sucked out. There's nothing worse than being caught up in a bunch of gossip that really has nothing to do with you, but you're being nosy and you want to be concerned with what is being said. I could care less what people think about me. I could care less what is said. I could care less about the gossip, because true individuals that want to know who you are, they ask questions. They listen. They remember conversations. They understand what your purpose, what your mission is, and what you're trying to achieve in life. Those that want to stay in those small, cloistered, gossiping circles, they feed off of each other's energy, and there's no room for growth or progress. And you have to learn when to step back and when to realize, let them talk. It's not your business what they think about you. It's not your business how they feel what you studied or what you're trying to do. Just be the individual that you are, growing and learning and researching, branching out, being something that you've always wanted to do. Nobody can hold you back but you. You're your own worst enemy. Hold a mirror in front of you. Can you be accountable and reflect your image and character honestly, and not have a persona that is false or a mask? It is a crazy time that we are living in. And I know there's so much I want to say, but I'm really just kind of drawing a blank at the moment. It is going to be hot today. I've got running around to do. There are things I need to take care of. I'm going to work in my backyard. I will go back to my outside gig tomorrow, and then start the week again, hoping people have calmed down just a little bit. We all work hard. We work at the best capacity that we can, but if you find that you need to step back, get away from the negativity, get away from the chaos, the trauma, take a me day or two and really get a true check on what you're trying to do in your life and how you're trying to improve the space that you're in. Think about the words that are coming out of your mouth and how you are making an impression. Who are you representing? What does your image say about you? And how are you reflecting whatever is going on in the world onto somebody else? Because I tell you what, there's a couple people this week, honestly, I just had to turn around and walk away because I was done. I'm not going to be caught in the middle of somebody else's anger that has absolutely nothing to do with me. If you are interested in a painting class, it is a group class. It's $45 a person. Classes sometimes 3-4 hours. I bring all the supplies. You pick your theme. Minimum 10, maximum people, depends on what your size is. I do have a venue. If you're interested in a vision board class, where we talk about where you've been, where you'd like to go, what you'd like to bring into your life, why you were drawn to certain things, why you have anxiety, why you feel you are intuitive, how you've researched, how you've learned, and how you want to put this big puzzle together, putting all those missing pieces in your life so you can see a better life for a higher purpose in which you can live. The class is $65. You can do it private, one-on-one. Again, we can do it in a group. You provide all the materials. But I am Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, for today, for tomorrow. Be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Fate turns on a dime. It is up to you to decide what side of that coin you want to be on. Always leave a comment, share, reach out, Kitryn_Marie at yahoo.com. I'm an open book. Feel free to ask anything. Also, before I get off of here, if you feel something is off, pay attention to your gut. Pay attention to that internal intuition and anxiety. And if you feel you need to block people, remove people from your life because they are causing you such distress, it's okay. You don't need anybody's permission to do that. So y'all take care, and I hope to see you real soon.